Hey, Shalom, Shalom, first and foremost, like always, I would like to say, call Halayim, like Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. I would like to give double honors to the elder apostles at Great Millstone, the minute I learned the truth from. And I would like to say, Shalom, Wa Barak, and Mabakayim Shah, Yashala, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, sincerely waiting and enduring until the return of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach to deliver us out of this last captivity. I'm on the way to the plantation, and you know, this came to my mind yesterday. I didn't get a chance to make a video on it, but doing it now just to express some things about so-called white man's education system, school system, whatever you want to call it. How basically this school system alone proves that he is the devil on the earth. You so-called white people are the devil that the Bible speaks of, and there's many things that proves that. I mean, the list is endless. I mean, you on Fox News trying to act all innocent, trying to say that the Hebrew Israelites, and you keep calling us black Hebrew Israelites, which that proves you're the devil once again because we're not black with different shades of brown. But you keep trying to say the Hebrew Israelites are domestic terrorists and we speak hate speech and all this. But no one has done more hateful crimes on this earth than you so-called white people, man. Okay? When you look throughout history, the most gruesome wars of all time was under your damn rulership, man. World War I, World War II, okay? Vietnam War, Cold War. Ever since you came into rulership, it's been nothing but war on the earth. Which proves that those people in the land of Israel today saying that they're the Hebrew Israelites are not the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, because the scriptures say when the true Hebrew Israelites get put back in the land after their final captivity, there would be peace on the earth, man. But see, your school system and your education system proves that you're the deceiver because, which the word devil means deceiver. When you, for one, the whole setup of how you set up the classrooms is demonic as hell. For one, you have young boys and young girls when they're in puberty sitting in class together, man. Okay? Men and women are supposed to be separate. They're supposed to be taught separate. You're not supposed to have a boy and a female with their hormones raging in class together, you know what I'm saying? Trying to teach them your bullshit, man. That's totally off, man. Women are supposed to be being taught how to be a woman from their mother, grandmother, aunts, how to take care of the house, how to raise up children, you know what I'm saying? How to take care of their man. And men are supposed to be learning the art of war, how to be a soldier for Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, how to gird up his loins as a man, how to not be all emotional, and take care of his business as a man, and be a provider, and learn how to be a provider, and take up a trade to provide for his family. You're not supposed to be sitting in a packed, tight classroom with one teacher, you know, you can barely hear the teacher because you have other kids yelling and hollering in the classroom, throwing paper at one another. It's totally confusing. Then you have all these nations, which the scriptures clearly tell you during the time when the Tower of Babel was being built, the Lord confounded the languages of all the nations because he didn't want everybody to be one people. Okay, he doesn't want everybody coming together. The only people he wants coming together are his people, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? But you'll put all these different nations in one classroom and try to teach them all, man. We all don't learn the same way. For one, the children of Israel are way different than the rest of you other nations. The children of Israel have rhythm. Their soul is very much enlightened with the earth, okay? So the way you would teach an Israelite is way more different than how you would teach a so-called Chinese person or a so-called white person. That's why when you look at a lot of these inner city schools, and I went to inner city schools growing up, which is the worst set of schools you can go to. That's why when you go to these inner city schools, they'll say, well, so-called black people, Hispanic people, look at them. Puerto Rican people, look at them. They suck in school. They get bad grades. Well, motherfucker, look how you teach them, man. You got a so-called born-ass white person or a bug-out so-called black person trying to teach them, but you're not teaching them hands-on. You're not showing them the true way to execute a problem, you just writing it on a goddamn board, you know, and expecting them to figure this shit out, man. But that's just the way you set up that's just the way you set up the classrooms. Now let's deal with what you teach in the fucking classrooms, man. This is why your education system is totally bullshit, proves you the devil. What you should be teaching kids that are really young adults and already are adults, because the scriptures tell you that a woman becomes a woman after she passes the flower of her age, you know. You become an adult, really, in the ancient world, you was adult like 13, 14, 15. Right? But really, you supposed to be teaching kids how to survive in this society, how to survive off the earth, how to make money, how to learn a trade. Not to be teaching them how to dissect frogs, okay? And I'm gonna get into the history part in a minute because that we all know that's the biggest deception of all time. Which I was an honor student in history. I love history, but I'm just dealing with some of the bullshit you learn. You got fucking you got us dissecting frogs. You got us learning these complicated math problems that we will never use when we go out into the real world. Okay, when you look at who's really making real money, it's these elite banksters, it's these banks, the people that own the banks, it's the banks, it's these people at these 500 companies, okay, and how do they make their money? Through the stock market, through the forex trading. They don't have real jobs because why? This society is built off of a debt system, fiat currency, a paper note that's not backed by any real resource, okay? The dollar is not backed by anything. So they know that. So since it's always fluctuating and changing, you know, they trade throughout this market, which is over, I think it's over like, it's just over trillions of dollars in this market. And that's how they make a lot of their money. Meanwhile, these kids that you brought up in your education system, you didn't teach them how to make real money. You didn't teach them a real trade. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to work on houses. Learn how to plant. Learn how to do construction. Learn how to work on technology. No, you made them sit in a fucking classroom, learn difficult math equations, learn bullshit science. You didn't teach about the scriptures, which that should have been the main thing taught, because that's the foundation. And then you send them out into a real world with no type of, you know what I'm saying, nothing to stand on. Okay? So that's why that's why they end up working at fast food, Walmart, okay? Foot Locker, all these dumbass minimum wage jobs that don't pay nothing. And then on the other spectrum, you have kids that go on to college. And now they're in fucking debt unless their parents are rich. Now they're in fucking debt because they got to continue that cycle of bullshit education because they don't know how to survive in the world without a piece of paper, a degree that says, okay, now you can try to get a job that fits this degree, you know, and maybe you'll get it, maybe you don't, you know. But really, you should have been teaching them how to survive in this world, man. Because when you get out into this world, you realize a lot of shit that you learned in school was useless. It doesn't benefit you in your everyday life. Okay? Now, let's deal with the history shit. Let's deal with how you never taught them, and when I say them, I'm talking about the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. See, you will always bring up around February, you will have so-called Black History Month, which will not black. Black represents darkness. And you will show us clips of Martin Luther King and how we fought to integrate into your society and become one with you. But you really didn't go deep into the history of the genocide of the Native Americans under the hands of Christopher Columbus and the rest of these so-called white people, Andrew Jackson, George Washington, all your demonic leaders that you put on a goddamn, what's that mountain where they call the faces of the presidents? You know, you teach us about your presidents. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. That's totally bullshit. Abraham Lincoln didn't give a fuck about the slaves, man. He transferred them to a different part of the government. And what proves that is, look what happened after that. We were still in fucking slavery. And then we went into the Jim Crow era where we got our ass kicked even more. And to this point where we fully integrated and we don't know who the fuck we are, and we still get shut down in the streets. We still have the worst jobs. Okay? Why didn't you teach about the dark ages when so-called dark people were ruling in Europe for 1,000 years? Why didn't you show our people that in your history classes? Hmm? Why didn't you really go into the research and dig deep to show what happened to our people, man? Because you're the fucking devil and you're the deceiver on the earth. Your whole school system and education system proves you the deceiver. You put children in that school system for one reason and one reason only, to breed them into New World Order slaves. So they'll grow up believing everything that's thrown their way. That's why you see all these adults today. They're not really adults. They're just kids that grew in size, man, because they believe everything that the so-called white man tells them through his media, his news. You know, they went through this school system and they've been bred up properly, man. The way the so-called white man wanted them to be bred up, you know. And I just wanted to touch on this because it proves that you're the fucking devil that the Bible speaks of, man. The school system is totally off. I've heard many college students that went to school, and they'll tell you it's bullshit, man. And you're paying all that money for what? To continue bullshit math classes, fake history that you're really not even learning fake history. Tell us why we're under paper money right now. Tell us why we're not under the gold standard anymore. Okay? Tell us why we live in a debt system ruled by the Federal Reserve Bank. Okay? Tell us how to get out of this debt system. Tell us why we have to pay taxes when it's illegal. Okay? You don't tell us the real stuff. Tell us what you want to tell us to keep us zombified in this society that you built, which is built for slaves. Everyone is a slave. If you're a citizen in America, you are a slave. You have a driver's license, you got a passport, you got a fishing license, you got a license for this, you pay tolls, you are a slave. Whether you're so-called black, so-called white, you are a slave. See, the difference is you have the children of Israel in slavery, man. And you're going to pay for that, man. You know? So I didn't want to make this real long. I just want to touch on how so-called white man's school system, the education system is totally bullshit. You know, and I'm sure any brothers or sisters can attest even more to some of the, you know, see, I'm on the way to work right now. I can't think of everything off the top. But yeah, it's many things in the school system. Oh, the food. the shit that you feed kids, man. You feed them that fucking milk, which is totally off. That milk that's got hormones all fucked up in it. Because the way you treat the cows, you know, cow milk's for cows, man. You know, you gotta drink that nasty ass milk, strawberry milk, chocolate milk. What the fuck is strawberry milk, man? What the fuck is chocolate milk, man? Then you'll make them drink it with pizza, some nasty ass, fake ass pizza, sloppy ass nachos, and, you know. It's totally off, man. It's totally off. That's why you have so much confusion in the school system, man. That's why you have so many fights, people getting bullied, depression. Because you got all these different nations combined in one, stressed out because they wake up early as fuck to go to a place where they're not even being built into anything but slaves, man. So, you know, with that, man, I'm going to wrap it up, man. To the next video, I'll say shalom.